with the Miss Red Podcast Show, the first episode of 2025. Round of applause, round of applause. We're so excited. We had a small hiatus, to get things together. We love to put out quality content. I tried something new. I went live at a restaurant, but after editing, we decided it wasn't going to work because the audio wasn't great. So, we're going to try that again next week. So we're back in the studio, and I have a guest with me today, Miss Shay. I will get to her in 1 second, but let me talk about today our topic. Okay, if you guys have been watching the promos, we're going to be talking about red flags in dating. Now, in Atlanta, we already know the dating pool is slim to none, wouldn't you say?
Extremely.
It's not the greatest.
Extremely slim.
I mean, we're outnumbered.
Very much so.
We're outnumbered, so that's already kind of like slim pickings, right?
It is.
So I said, you know what? We need to talk about that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take the show on the road, go to Harold's, we're going to set up, and we're going to talk to the customers. And we did. We talked to customers, we talked to bartenders, we talked to waitresses, and a couple was there, but the audio, my executive producer wasn't there with me. I did it by myself. I had a friend with me. It just didn't work out. But I said, you know what? Let's try again. But those people are busy, couldn't make it. So now I got another guest. And I got some other people that gave me information that I have in my handy little book, my red book here. So we're going to talk about it. And of course, I have to give Miss Fred's, top 10 famous dating red flags. I have to give my little 2 cents, of course, but I want to hear different perspectives. So what I've done is I've taken a poll of different people, a variety of ages, different ages, males and females, different, all different ages. So we're going to talk about different ages, Ms. Shay's perspective, my perspective, and we're going to see where everybody kind of pans out and see what's in common, what's different, and kind of just have a talk about it and see if it's all the same. All right, so let's get started. So Shay, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me here.
I'm glad you decided to come. I'm so glad you
You're
came.
as well.
It's great to have you here. So tell us about yourself, your dating life, what you got going on in
Okay.
Atlanta.
All right. Well, I'm a business owner.
Uh-huh.
I own 2 businesses here. I provide home care solutions as well as I provide VA solutions.
Nice.
So I do a lot of work in the community, try to stay connected, building relationships, helping people who cannot help themselves with personal care, daily living activities, things of that such.
Lovely.
And also small businesses as well, providing them support for their back offices.
Okay.
Yeah. Outside of that, in my personal life, I am recently single.
Okay.
So dating red flags are fresh on the mind right now.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, okay, so the thing is, you said being single in Atlanta, like a professional woman, right? When you're single, do you think it matters if you are a professional? Like, let's say you didn't have all that going on. You just were just a person that worked at, like, the mall or McDonald's. Does it matter, do you think?
I don't think so. I think that being single in Atlanta, a single black female in Atlanta, we all run into the same obstacles because we all have this same small subset of supposed to be single men to choose from.
So you don't think that you have a higher caliber of men because you are considered like more of a catch because you do have, more options? Are your options better, would you say?
I guess maybe so.
Okay.
Maybe so, yeah, because I am selective.
Right.
So
Now, does selective mean picky? Or, because if you're picky, meaning selective, does that hurt you with your options? Because, the ratio here is so, like, 30 to 1 or something like that?
it's crazy.
It is crazy, because I'm also not married. I have not been married. I've been engaged 3 times. You know, to somebody that could be a red flag. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I mean, so again, myself being a professional, I would say that I'm extremely picky as well. And to some people, they could say that's a red flag that you're picky. It just, again, it depends on who you're talking to. Because even with these red flags that I have in this trusty book here, it varies. Because sometimes some of the red flags that I saw at Harold's last week, Chicken and Ice Bar in Duluth, plug, they told me, just saying, you should come check us out, can some of the red flags turn into green flags? We also asked that question too, and the couple that was there said yes.
I can see that.
And that was an interesting question that we posed. That caused a really nice conversation. Can red flags become green flags? And it depends on what it is.
Right.
Like you can't, if somebody's got 9 kids and you don't want a person that has 9 kids and 9 baby mamas or 9 baby daddies, you can't change that.
No.
But if someone picks their nose and eats their boogers, yeah, okay, you can maybe change that. But so that conversation did come up, and I thought that was a very interesting conversation that we had at Harold's, the couple that did their interview. But okay, so you said you were recently single, because I am for the last maybe like year and a half or so. My engagement broke off. So do you mind sharing about? Actually, do you mind if I title yours? Your recent, we talked earlier. Actually, we named it something jokingly. Your recent breakup, we called it bald-headed hoes with beards.
That's right.
Okay, so we did talk. Bald-headed hoes with beards. So your ex-boyfriend was a bald-headed hoe with the beard.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to call him.
Yeah.
So we're not going to say anybody's name. We're going to call him that. So this is your recent red flag situation. So let's talk about your red flags. After that ended, thank the Lord, what did you get out of that now that that's happened? What red flags did you get out of that?
The number one red flag, now that I can look back and
Reflect
on everything, was the love bombing.
Okay. And what exactly is love bombing?
Love bombing is when someone just comes in, just rushes you with all the great feels, all the great things, doing everything wonderful, doing everything great. But it's kind of like a bad characteristic that they have, because they don't do it. Maybe they do it with good intentions in the beginning, but they have to take the lenses off and quit looking. But if they don't take the lenses off and keep looking, then that's when it becomes a problem.
Because at first you would think, oh my God, this person, like, you wouldn't think bad if someone's love bombing you, just throwing love, I love you.
Yeah.
I want to love on you. Oh, I love you. You would think that's not bad. You would think, like, what's wrong with this?
Yeah.
Like, why would you wouldn't think anything of it. You would think, this person loves me. Who doesn't want to be loved on?
Exactly.
So you wouldn't think love bombing is bad. You would think, who in the world would not want to be showered with love? So so now that you step out of it, you're able to reflect.
Yeah.
So you realize that was a cover for control, to kind of keep you in the house, to be like, you focus on me, but I'm still gonna have my eyes all over the place.
Yeah. So it's a mechanism that they use to, like you said, control you. They do all these wonderful things in the beginning. They make you feel things in the beginning, but like I said, they don't ever take off their lenses. They're consistently still looking. But they put you in a good spot to where you feel like, wow, this person did all these wonderful things for me. Shower me with gifts, trips, time.
Because who wouldn't
things.
like that?
I know, right?
I mean, any woman would like that.
But then they put you there, so now you're stuck there, and your feelings, your heart is involved, and now the switch up game begins.
Because a woman who's professional like yourself is not going to be running the streets.
Exactly.
You have business to attend to. No one's professional is going to be just ripping, running, bebopping around.
Exactly.
Only hoes do that. I hate to say that. I hate that word, but it's true. And men know that.
Yeah.
And but they're over here just doing this, but then we are at home handling business, and they know that. So that is, and I've heard that before.
Yeah.
The love bombing.
Yeah.
So the try and control, keep you at home. And do you think they do that with multiple women? Everybody gets the love bombing when they're still looking around, or is it just like focus on one?
It's probably just maybe one or two, because that takes a lot of energy
And money.
time and money. And you know, the average male median income here in Atlanta is not that great. So if you don't got a lot of money, you can't play.
There's a lot of flexing and flogging here.
Yes, extremely.
A lot of people living at home with their mamas driving Benzes.
And a lot of men don't have cars, and a lot of men don't have
Speak
this
on it.
and barely,
Speak on
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Speak
So,
on it. I'm gonna speak on it I'm gonna speak on that. I'm talking about living with their mamas.
And then the other part of the love bombing is it's a cover up, it's a shell, so where you can start, you know, you can put this man in a high regard because he's making you feel so good. You're like, oh my goodness, this man is making me feel
No one's ever gonna do this.
amazing.
I got so
Exactly.
lucky. Oh my God.
But then once you start to get to know that person and able to peel back the layers, you're like,
Okay, wait a minute now. What
all
happened?
right, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of grace and I'm gonna deal with that just because of, you know, you did this and made me feel that way.
But then things start happening.
And then another layer comes
Right,
back
right.
down, and then another layer. Then
You're like,
another
wait a
layer.
minute
You're like,
now.
hold up. Mm-mm.
But they think just because you've been love bombing, I'm gonna keep dealing with this. Because they
Mhm.
know what's coming.
Exactly.
They know deep
Yeah.
down what kind of person they really
Mhm.
are. So they know this. If I keep doing these things, they will ignore what's really coming.
And another thing, a lot of men like to play outside of their league.
Yes.
You know, hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna toot my own horn, toot toot.
Toot.
So when they finally get that one that they've never experienced before, then they feel like, I got her on the hook. She ain't going nowhere.
Now, do you think when they finally get that one, do they think like, okay, well, she finally, like, do they think that maybe, okay, like, well, she's desperate now because she's older, that, well, maybe she'll deal with me now because she has no options. Like, I'm going to say this because, like, I have a coworker that, you know, all these years to never have, you know, a child or anything, then you have a child at 42, 43 and be a baby mama?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you do that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you have your own house and your own this and on that. Why you wait all this time? Just because you were a child?
Maybe it was because of personal reasons. Maybe.
But I mean,
Because I am 40 plus. I don't have children. I've never been married. But I've never believed in having children out of wedlock.
nor I don't think this person did either.
Yeah. I've entertained it. Even in this last relationship, I entertained it.
With
But,
Buddy?
yeah. I entertained it. But
Aren't you glad you didn't do that
I'm
though?
so glad.
Imagine
I am so glad.
the drama.
But it was also another control mechanism because I believe that he probably wanted it more than I did.
Because he would have had you in,
Exactly.
like, he would have had you like this then.
Exactly.
Because he knows you don't want to be a single mom, the baby daddy drama. You would all this time without that, and then imagine having that in your 40s.
Mm-hmm.
See,
So.
yeah. Again, because I'm 51 with one daughter. I only had one daughter. I was with her dad for like very many years. You know, again, you carry yourself in a way where certain women don't have multiple baby daddies.
Right.
That's just not. I'm not doing
I
that.
never wanted that.
Me neither.
And I never wanted.
I'm not knocking nobody.
Yeah,
but
hey,
that's just not.
That's your thing, and it works for you.
Great.
That's just not. What
That's
I
not.
would.
Yeah. I'm
So.
not. Look, I'm like. I'm mad because I'm not mad we didn't get married, but that's when I learned my lesson. I'm like, you know. So, and I'm teaching my daughter the same thing.
Exactly.
She's 28 now, and she doesn't have any kids. You know, so you want your kids to do better than you.
Exactly.
So I'm sticking to that. You know, if she made different choices, I would still love her. But this has been instilled in her for a very long time.
Yeah.
But so you want to, okay? So the love bombing is that obviously because this morning when I talked to you, that came to your mind just like that, and that kind of I can see why. But to me, in my mind, that's like spoiling because in my mind, I would see that as like somebody buying me gifts and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But to me, in my mind, I heard Tamar Braxton say this: if you ain't buying me gifts, you don't like me. I feel like you're supposed to do this stuff.
Yeah, but then the patterns change. Because, like I said, they never take the goggles off. They keep looking. So, kept looking. So then the pattern switched up. Of course, you know, the money ain't that long, so you can only do so much.
The money
You
show.
know what I'm saying?
Money show.
It's money. It's a little
Money
show.
show.
Yeah. Money is a little show.
So then that's gone. Okay, so then, okay, what's the second one?
The second one I'm gonna say is what did I say?
Talking.
Yeah, talking too much.
Talking.
Talking
Running
too
that
much.
mouth.
Running their mouth.
Talking
They
to
always
who,
say
though? Who you
women.
talking
They
to?
always say women. We run our mouths. No, men. Y'all talk to y'all best friend, y'all cousins, y'all brother.
What are you talking about?
Us. Everything.
That's so girly.
It's from the beginning to the end. Like there's
Like
no
the
reason.
personal stuff?
Personal. There's no reason why a third party should come and repeat anything I said verbatim.
That when I tell you, I have never experienced that before. Not like that.
I have.
And they've come back and told you,
Recently.
your man said this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Even he's back there laughing.
Cause they do.
I've
It's like
never-
they can't hold water. It's like it's too good. It's too good for them, so they just gotta tell
So
them.
they never had nothing.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Like toot.
Exactly.
I mean toot.
For real. it's flattering, but at the same time, I don't
It's a
want-
backhanded compliment.
Yeah, but I don't
Ain't
want
never had nothing.
you pillow your cousin, brother, best friend, whoever pillow talking with their friend and their friend coming back and telling me nothing. That's unacceptable.
That is so
Extremely.
inappropriate.
Very much so.
Ah, that is so unmanly.
And believe it or not, that is a trait that a lot of these.
So prior to bald headed hoe with beard, did any other man do? Now that you can reflect, has any phone call? Is that bald headed hoe on the phone?
It could be.
Bald headed beard. Has anybody? Now that you've reflecting, has anyone else been like bald headed hoe with beard
I think this is probably my first bald-headed one. So yeah.
that acted like this?
Yeah.
Now that you're seeing, you're like, oh, okay, now you're older.
No, I think okay. So you know, I'm just saying that jokingly, but
I mean, behave like this.
yeah, the behavior. You know, that whole bald-headed whole thing came out a couple years ago. That little saying. So I just renamed that situation.
Right. Okay, so talking so much, your friend. Now, I was gonna say my girl can cook, like, cook. We're talking about deep stuff.
Deep stuff, personal.
That is so whack.
So whack.
Oh my
And
god.
they're not even personal, just sharing all of their other little escapades, and then the cousin, brother, best friend, uncle, daddy, whoever come back
I
and
need to meet
tell
this bald head.
somebody else all the other little activities that's going on.
Ain't never had nothing. That's what that's about. You know. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So did you check that person? Did you check him? Like, why would you?
You know, that's when everything hit the
One
fan,
of them
and
break
so
the camel's
that
back.
was just like it's
Yeah.
over.
Wow.
That's it. I can do a lot, but just certain stuff I just am not gonna put up with.
And I remember you saying something earlier. I don't know if you're going to mention it or not, but another thing that broke the camel's back was something about somebody moving or something. You don't mind? You want to say? Rather not?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and what was the last thing that you mentioned?
Insecurity.
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of men, I don't care how big and muscular and tall and strong they appear, but if they have some unresolved issues from whatever it was in their past, I don't know we don't know. They are very insecure about a lot of things. Especially, maybe it's just because, dealing with a woman that they've never really dealt with out of their league before. So they're thinking that we're holding on to things in our past that we're not, or that we've experienced things in our past that were better than them. And so, I've had to endure multiple conversations of me explaining that I don't deal with that anymore. I don't have to deal with that.
Is the worst. So a person. So again, do you think it's because of financial reasons, or is it physical reasons, or mental reasons?
It could be mental exposure, lack of experience.
And then out of his league, dating out of his league. So meaning the women he dated were just like unprofessional, ghetto, or just all that. Just
More than likely.
so do you think that you were out of your league?
I was.
Okay, so then why did you give him a chance?
It was fun.
Fun in what way?
In the beginning, it was fun.
Because of this whole love bombing thing.
Yeah, it was fun. It was flirty. We was having a good time.
And that was his, but he knew that was his role. That's what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, when you're with someone, if you're having fun, who does not want to have fun?
Right.
That's
and
the whole
I try
point.
not to judge people.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not the richest. I'm not a a supermodel. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I try to be fair. As long as when we initially begin talking, our values somewhat aligned to get together,
Mm-hmm.
then you have opportunity. So, but when like in this situation, the love bombing came in so hard and so strong, it kind of jaded a lot of my.
You think he had an ulterior motive?
Initially, no.
He just thought I have a catch.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, he's
Mhm.
pursuing you, and that's what a man who wants something is supposed to do.
Mhm.
Because I think that if a man wants a woman, you need to show, I want you, I'm gonna pursue you. So
Mhm.
I can see why you would think he wants to be with me. Okay, let's do it.
Mhm.
Like it's okay because it's like if you didn't do that, well, bump you. I'm gonna go keep dating too. So you didn't do anything wrong. So I agree with those actions. Like for you to kind of like hook, line, and sinker, most of us would do that.
Mhm.
That's nothing. You didn't do anything wrong.
Mhm.
I mean, it's no. That's what we all would do. That's nothing. A normal woman would take that and run with it.
Yeah. But then, like I said, when the patterns change, and then he's still constantly going out with his friends and meeting
Yeah, I don't like
people.
that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I think once you get to a certain spot in your relationship, and especially if you claim that you are
How much
in
time
love,
had gone by then?
our relationship took off fast, extremely fast.
And I don't even agree with time. To me, at this age, I'll say at this big age, time is not really. Time doesn't really matter
Right.
to me because we're not 12.
Exactly.
I mean, I know people to date for 6 months and be happily married for 30 years.
Right.
You got folks that date for 5 years, get married, get divorced in 2 months.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter
Mhm.
really.
That's
If
true.
that's your person, that's your person. If y'all gonna make it work, make it work. So time doesn't really matter. It really depends on if y'all on the same page, aligned.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
It
It
doesn't
really
matter.
doesn't matter. If you have one person who wants to get married, other person doesn't, you guys are not on the same page. But if you're compatible and you guys are on the same wavelength,
Mhm.
make it work.
Mhm.
If one person wants to get married, but one person does not want kids, then that's not your person.
Right.
So
Exactly.
if you're on the same page, so this is, and I can speak for myself, and after you tell yours, I'm going to tell my red flags with my last relationship, and then I want to compare what you and I have to what I got my others, and then I want us to kind of like see if they what they got in common because I got some different age groups, and I found it very interesting because the youngest person on my list was 34, and she was an outlier because she mentioned one trait that none of us said. I think we wanted to be, like we think of it, but we didn't say it.
Mhm.
And I told her that today. I said, you're the only person that said that. And I'm kind of embarrassed, actually.
And I got one too that we didn't talk about. So.
Okay, save that, because I want to, I
Yeah.
told her that. I said, it's weird, because no one said that.
Mhm.
But I would probably, you'd be like, oh, yeah, I would think about that,
Mhm.
but no one actually said it for her. But,
Mhm.
okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. So what, third, insecure. Now, insecure, meaning he probably had self-esteem issues.
Yep.
And he was always trying to ask you about, well, is that him? Like, that's crazy. He should be focused on himself making you happy instead of running about your ex. That's crazy.
For sure.
That's
For
crazy.
Sure. For
That's
sure.
crazy. A man who don't love himself is a disaster.
Exactly. And what's that? Take it to the scripture. A double-minded man will be unstable in all his ways.
Ooh, that's some serious stuff.
For real. So, with that said, like when I said, when you're in a relationship and you come to a certain spot in your relationship where you're supposed to be exclusive and spending time with your mate, yes, that you can have time with your friends or whatever, but you also have to respect your relationship too.
Right.
Don't do things that you don't want your partner to do. Don't go out and still
Exactly.
looking for numbers. Don't go out meeting people And when you do, you just open yourself up to causing issues in your relationship.
Exactly.
And so then that's when the patterns change, and then that's when the other person now is seeing that and is bringing it up, but you're trying to make that person feel, gaslight that person into thinking that they're delusional and that's not going on. But
then it goes
really
from there to there to there, and then the arguing and all that. I just don't have.
Exactly.
I don't have
So
time
when that
for it.
happens, it just goes downhill from there, and you might as well just.
And
go
then
ahead.
don't throw in there a baby mama.
Oh,
See, again,
don't
I
throw
can't.
baby mama.
You can have an ex-wife, you can have that,
Yeah.
but you gotta have boundaries. Everyone has a past. That's the thing. And the thing is, like for me, everyone has a past. Okay, you cannot tell somebody they gotta be a 55-year-old virgin. Okay, nobody's saying that.
Right.
But have boundaries, for God's sakes.
For sure.
Meaning your baby mama, your ex-wife, your kids, you have to have boundaries. It is okay to move on with your life when you have kids, an ex-wife, because we're women, and then you're a man, your ex-husband, your ex-wife. It's okay to have a new life
That's true.
and still take care of your past,
Your responsibility.
your children, and your child support and your alimony. It is okay to still do that. Because I hate to say this, but other races do it with no problem.
They do it no problem, no issues, no drama at all.
The step kids get along, the new kids get along, the new ex-wife get along, the new wife.
Right.
How come our race doesn't do that with ease? Have you noticed that? It's baffling to me.
It's a broken
It
system.
really is. Other races get along. I'm talking about like all the extended family, new family, they all get along fine. I don't know what that's about. I find it fascinating.
Me too, and
It's
I
annoying.
hate the blame game, but sometimes men have a problem with cutting things off. Not sometimes. Men have a problem. Black men have a problem with severing previous situations.
It's so annoying.
It is.
And then they get mad, like they wonder why sometimes sisters go somewhere else. And I know like why guys go and boys go to the white girl, all that kind of stuff. But I can't really speak on that. But sometimes we don't get a fair shot, just in general. But I feel like, speaking for myself, I've never really been in a bad situation. But I have seen situations where people have not set boundaries, and I'm thinking like, are you serious? Thinking that is okay? That is not okay.
It's not okay.
You're still whispering, talking to your ex, and because y'all been divorced for how long, and you still doing this? No, that's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
That doesn't make any sense.
I agree.
So, anything else you want to add if I go into mine? Because I have to always, I'm an open book on my show. It's my show, and I feel like I'm not going to be like, not going to be transparent with myself. So, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? Put myself out there. So, anything that you want to say about yours before going to mine?
The last one, it's not necessarily related to my previous situation, but it is something that I have seen in the past.
What's
that?
that?
It is an issue. Men who have mommy issues.
Oh, gosh. That is tall.
It's either they dislike their mother for one reason or another, or they have an extreme attachment issue to their mother.
Which is worse?
It is.
Which is worse? you
Oh,
think?
I don't know. They both are bad. They're both are bad.
Super dislike their mother, or super close, like on the breast
Yeah,
kind of
because
thing.
if they dislike their mom, they're going nine times out of 10.
Well, the mommy issues, that's a serious one. So let's kind of wind it on down and talk about mine. And I'll just kind of run mine down because I definitely want to get to other people. So let me give you mine. So now I'm going to say mine and kind of run through them. You guys know I'm 51. I know, it's hard to believe. Miss Red just turned 51. I do have a daughter. I have never been married. I have been engaged 3 times. Over the course of 30-some years, y'all. Not like in the last month or anything. So I'm going to give you guys my top, I think I have done like 5 or 6. A man with multiple baby mamas. That's like a, what?
Yeah.
That's, that, to me,
Yeah.
that's, ugh.
A no-go. Been there, done that.
That's like a what? Now I can see a man with multiple kids. You've been married one time and got like 8 kids by that one woman.
Right.
I can see that. Okay. No stable career. Unless, I mean, like, you know, if you are still like in school, if you're like a medical school, law school, dental school, you in school because you got, you know. Yeah. But if you had no career, you just living, going from McDonald's to Burger King and all that. That's not happening. You're unable to take care of your own responsibilities, meaning your own bills, your child support, your alimony, your car note, your mortgage. You ain't got no house. Looking for a house to stay in, meaning he's like, let's move in your house the day 2. You ain't got nowhere to stay. Yeah, what? So you live with your mama or you're a moocher. That's red flag number 3. Number 4, a man who wants to go 50-50 or not pay at all. I've never had that, but I mean, for me, I just don't like broke, cheap busters. Like you said broke. You said yours. Mine is broke, cheap buster. That's what I don't do that. When a man calls you, this is really important. I heard someone else say this. When a man calls you big baller, big paper, Richie Rich, I want to be you when I grow up.
I've heard all those.
I'm not on your level. When a man says those things, you need to run. Do you know why? Because that means, like deep down, he's hating on you, you know. Those are the little side comments. I want to be like, ooh, I can't, ooh, look at you. Yeah. You need to run. That means he's already checking you out, and he's going to be hating on you, so leave. That's my 5th one. My 6th one is, being inconsistent.
Oh, yeah.
Say one thing, but do a whole complete another. You know, making plans, and they don't follow through. That's really kind of small. I know things come up, but to be inconsistent all the time is just so unattractive. And my 7th one is little white lies. Yeah. You know, the little white lies lead to big things. I mean, why lie about your age? Why lie about how many kids you have? Why lie about how, you know, just the little things, you know.
Exactly.
But to me, the biggest, I put a star by this. I put a star by it. The biggest thing for me, which is a huge turnoff, I've always been like this. People think because I have to wear, you know, fitted clothes and tight clothes or whatever to have a shape. People who talk about sex off the rip.
Same. No.
When I say that is such a turnoff. Just talking about something, I'll give an example. The other day, I called somebody about a collab to do to come on my show. They sent me a picture of me on TikTok with me wearing jeans, talking about me being a sexy educator or whatever. And they said to sit on their face. I didn't know them. I don't know them. When I literally was like, wild. I cussed them out.
That's wild.
I said, wait a minute. And you're
unacceptable.
I said, wait, stop. I said, do you realize you just made yourself look like a piece of dirt to me?
Right.
And then he apologizing and all that, but I can't even.
No, like you've ruined the whole
whole collab. I don't even want to talk to you now. It's just
the
like
whole
so now I know you grimy like that.
Yeah.
You 56.
You're a creep.
You're a creep.
You're a creep.
So now I'm like, okay, ugh, like gross. Now, so those are misreads. That's like 8, right? Now the one that I want to say that the young lady said that's 34. The one that she said that is a red flag that if a man did not do was a relationship with God. That's what I couldn't believe I didn't say that.
I wanted to text you that, but I got distracted.
I can't believe I didn't. I'm embarrassed I didn't say that.
Same. I was gonna text you that, but I got a little tied up.
Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't say that.
Gotta have a relationship.
Lord, forgive me.
That should be number 1.
Number
That's
1.
On my mirror. God first and everything.
I can't believe I didn't say. I'm embarrassed. And then nobody else said that. And then so I mean, people said great things. We had all said in common. I had somebody 47, male, professional, female 41. She was a basketball coach, lacrosse coach, 43 married. I mean, a variety of people, and only one person said that. Yeah. And I think most people want that.
Yes.
I think they think that's probably a subconscious thing, but it wasn't a verbal thing. And there's no way I would want somebody to not have that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I would want somebody to not have that. So I think I'm embarrassed, actually.
Yeah, that should be number 1.
I mean, seriously.
That's number 1.
But like even like with myself, with my engagement, I think that the biggest thing for me, I've learned with my engagement, when I met my ex-fiance on a dating site, we didn't get the love bombing, but I don't like a lot of people like that. And when I click with somebody, I click with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So when we clicked, we just clicked. So, you know, when I clicked with somebody, we clicked and just kind of like got together.
Yeah.
So then we got together, stayed together, had a beautiful engagement in Europe.
Right.
And, you know, and then things just kind of went left. Kind of went left. You okay back there? And then, you know, but the point is, we just kind of, things happen, but it wasn't a love bombing situation, but I just don't click with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm used to being spoiled, but I just don't like everybody.
Right.
So a lot of guys be in my face, but I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
But even like the guy I just told you, the comedy mate, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you doing, how much money you got. Comments like that are just like, ew. I'm like,
no.
who you? I don't care.
And like you said, it has to be a compatible situation.
Yeah, I gotta like you.
That was that. Like
I only gotta fake it for. I can't fake it for a gift. You know.
It was exactly no way.
I can't fake it for a meal or for a drink or a gift. I just can't. I can't.
No, I'm not built that way.
I can't.
I'd rather
days over.
I'd rather be at home, enjoy my individual space, and
Free time and my domain
working or something.
Yeah, my
instead
peace.
of going to get a gift from somebody that I know that
Exactly.
has zero.
Somebody that don't
opportunity.
So okay, so really quick, I know we're gonna wind this on down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know I did a show, an episode on BET is coming up, right? I did an episode on a show on BET.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I called him today, one of the EPs on the show, and he just got engaged. But I said, can you give me your 3 red flags? He said, a woman leading with her accomplishments. He just got engaged. A woman who too overbearing, forward and aggressive, and women asking for entitlement to financial resources when there's no commitment. He's 47, father of 2 grown sons. He has a younger woman he just got engaged to.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Those are fair.
those are very fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, and then another lady, 43, professional, a man having 2 cell phones, never having you at his house. And
That
then
is a red flag.
that is
the house thing. That's a major red flag.
I mean, then I said back, well, why not? Maybe he just private. She said, girl, no.
No.
And then with the cell phones, I said, well, why? I'm sure Bill Gates has 2 phones. I said, I'm sure Jeff Bezos has 2 phones. I have 2 phones.
So.
She said, no, only hoes and bitches come.
One for the hoes, one for the lows.
I was teasing her. I was gaslighting her. This lady's a doctoral student. She's funny.
I think you can have 2 phones, especially if you're conducting business.
I was cracking me up. She was cracking me up today. So I just thought it was funny how I was kind of like getting different responses, but for the same thing, the same thing about having kids, don't take care of them or whatever. So
that's a major red flag.
it was, you know.
You can have kids, but you got to take care of them.
So what do you think now that we had this conversation, and you know we're both in the same boat actually. I don't think I have a daughter, but she's grown, doing her own thing or whatever. So you know, what are you gonna do different now as we wind this thing down? You've heard my situation a little bit. We talked a little bit off camera. What are you gonna do different now in this new year with dating? Because you haven't given up, right?
I've kind of realigned my focus, so I think I'm good on dating. If somebody just comes into my life, that the opportunity presents itself, then I'll entertain it. But that's not my primary focus right now.
Your businesses.
My businesses are my primary focus. Like, I had 3 incomes. I had my 2 businesses plus a full-time job, and back in December I was recently laid off. So now I'm like in grind hustle mode. So now, like, hey, if somebody comes into my life that
now they're gonna just fall in your lap. Where they gonna come from?
I mean,
they're gonna just fall.
I'll step out every now and then. Me getting out and meeting somebody has never been an issue. So
I like being at home. I like being at home. That's a problem.
Yeah, I like being at home too, but
That's all the pretty girls be at home. I'm like, this facts.
I'll get out every
I'll be
now
at
and then
home.
and have me a cocktail or something.
D, where I be at? At the house. D, you know I be at home.
But
Cause ain't nobody coming to my house. That's the thing.
no.
You ain't coming over here.
You cannot come over. No.
So the problem is then guys be like, how you gonna meet somebody if you at your house, door locked, behind the gate, and I can't come over? I'm like, well,
You can't come over.
I ain't coming to your house. You could be a killer.
No, I ain't coming to your house either.
So then that's the problem. So what we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know.
I guess I gotta marry my daughter.
I don't know.
She said, you ain't. Oh, she said, no, you ain't marrying me. I said, well, dang it.
I don't know. It'll happen when it's supposed to.
At this point in time, you know what? I ain't worried about it. I want my show to blow up. I want to marry my show. I want the Miss Red Podcast Show to blow up. How about that? Y'all help me get my show to blow up, and I'll marry all of you guys. How about that? So I hope you guys enjoyed this segment of the Miss Red Podcast Show. Oh, Shay, give out your Instagram handles.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram. My first business, I provide home care solutions at I Provide Home Care on Instagram. Also on Instagram, I provide
Here's your camera.
VA solutions. And TikTok, I provide home care. Look me up.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this show. We have another show coming up. Stay tuned. Also, check me out on BET. I have a new show coming out, Set Design. My episode's coming out, they told me, on March 5th, I believe. But stay tuned. We'll have that on a promo. But thank you for joining us. See you next time. Peace. Bye. Red flags. Avoid the red flags, y'all. Avoid the red flags, honey.
Run.
I'm sick of red flags.